Shippensburg, Pennsylvania, a humble college town in the Cumberland Valley, the home of a foundation that has helped over 100 families during the most difficult time of their lives. This is the story of a family forced to say goodbye as soon as they said hello. This is the story of a family who had to prepare for their child's death before his birth even took place. This is the story of Connor Kirby.
Terry and I got married back in 1997, and in 1999 we were ready to start a family, and it was a struggle to get pregnant with our son Tucker. We had to go to Hershey Medical Center and go through a process called superovulation, and it was quite expensive, but luckily it worked, and we delivered a healthy baby boy in April of 2000. We decided to expand our family in 2002, and we tried to get pregnant with Connor. We did not have to go to the extents we did to get pregnant with him that we did Tucker, but we did get pregnant. And then when I was halfway through the pregnancy, we went for our routine ultrasound, and they discovered a problem. So they sent us to the specialists at Hershey, and they diagnosed him with post-urethral valve syndrome.
Posterior urethral valve syndrome is one of those conditions that you can get where there's an obstruction to the path of urine. The urine is produced in the kidneys, then it's filtered down through the little tube called the ureters to the bladder and then out. And the urethra is connected obviously to the penis, and inside where the bladder and the urethra connects, there's a little valve that develops that blocks the passage of urine from going all the way through. So what happens is the urine just backs up in the bladder first and then into the ureters and back into the kidneys. And it pushes on and presses on the kidney tissue to the point where it can totally crush it. And if it happens early on, as it did in Connor's case, it happened so early that you couldn't detect it, and then it just kind of blocked the functioning of the kidney completely, so that when he was born, unfortunately, he didn't have any kidneys there to function, to do the normal activities, which is to get rid of waste. And in Connor's state, he didn't have that, and therefore he couldn't survive.
So if we did nothing, it was a 100% mortality rate. So we chose to do what we could, and that involved getting a tap done, which is where they stick a real long needle down through my belly and into the baby, into his bladder. And they withdrew the urine and tested it for kidney function. So we did this a total of 4 times, and every time it got worse.
We did our usual tests, which is a sonogram, usually halfway through the pregnancy, around 20 weeks. And at that time, we detected that there's an issue going on. And by then, unfortunately, it was a significant issue. We sent her over to Hershey Medical Center, which is our tertiary care center, where we send all our complicated and high-risk patients, and they evaluated her there, and they didn't think that because of the extent of the damage that they've had to the kidneys, that it was amenable to correction.
We felt that he had been through enough, and we just needed to let him go. And so we carried him, well, I should say I carried him, and then on Memorial Day 2003, I woke up in labor. I was 9 weeks early. I had still continued to see my local OB and decided that I would have him deliver the baby here, so I couldn't change my mind. Yeah, I mean, this all strung out over a month of freaking out, panic attacks. I had a 3-year-old at home, a husband, a job. I still had to go through my daily routine, knowing that the baby I was carrying was going to die once he was born.
Adele, I would say, would be one of the high-functioning ends of my patient population, where she thought the whole process through, all the way down to the delivery. I mean, she knew that Connor wasn't going to survive. His life over here is going to be very brief. And as it turned out, he was breech, meaning he was coming down butt first. And the standard OBGYN literature would have said, this baby's not going to survive. Let the baby deliver vaginally through the birth canal. And if it doesn't survive, it's not going to survive anyways. And saves the lady a C-section. And that's the way that most people have gone through. And she talked to me, and she said, it is very important for me to see my son alive. I want to hold my son in my hand, alive. And you can't guarantee me that doing a vaginal delivery, so do a C-section.